Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little showcase on my really newest rank 3 champion, Dazzler. So, the raid compensation came in, it gave me a tier 4 alpha, and that was enough to push me over the threshold of being able to rank 3 another 7-star champion, and so I went with Dazzler. This champ rocks. She's so much fun. She's so useful. She's a bit of a dual threat as well. She's kind of annoying to fight on defense, but for the most part, she's just an offensive beast. I love the rhythm game for her special 1 and her special 2. I think it's so much fun. It's such a unique and fresh ability to have in the game. You know, we've seen rhythm-based mechanics before with like Perfect Release and Spider-Punk's special 2, but this is a brand new sort of rhythm-based mechanic. I really like the tapping. It's just so fun. It really gets you into the spirit of actually playing the character. You really feel like you are playing Dazzler. You know, you're not just tapping the screen. It feels like you really are playing the champ. So, once you've thrown your special 1, you want to build up to your special 2. Ideally, you want to use that Dazzling Dash to stun the opponent, or at least falter them and throw a heavy attack. And then you want to throw your special 2, and before you know it, the opponent is dead. I didn't even see the final burst of damage there because he was dead from the guaranteed crit at the end. 41 seconds, no damage taken. This champ is nutty. She's absolutely ridiculous. Just so much fun and so useful. I've got her at Sig 40. You don't necessarily need her any higher than Sig 20. Honestly, if you had a Mutant Awakening gem and you just wanted to awaken her, that would also be perfectly fine. But the Awaken ability is a bit of a game changer for her. It allows her to take matchups that she could not take before. I'm not sure what's taking so long for the game to load. But it basically allows her to reflect all physical type damage that the opponent would deal to you, like a Korg or an Atuma or a Killmonger. Any damage that falls into like the physical thorns damage category, she is able to reflect back to the opponent, so you don't take any of the damage. The opponent takes the damage, and the Awaken ability just multiplies how much damage they actually take based on the Sig level. Another thing to note about Dazzler is every time you land a heavy attack against the non-stunned opponent, you build up more of your tempo, and every time you cross a threshold of 10 tempo, you get that Dazzling Dash, and that places the falter on the opponent. So, the more tempo you have, I believe the more potency of your prowess that you gain. Let me check that right now to just see. Yeah, so the potency of your Fury, your Prowess, and your Resonance are increased by 1% flat per tempo. So you want to have as high of a tempo count as you can going into throwing that special 2. Dazzler's ideal loop for short to medium, even longer form fights, like knocking on the door of maybe 700, 800,000, so like story health pools, is special 1, special 2. Now you could go double special 1, special 2 if the health pools are a little longer, or if you wanted to go for like super long form content, you can go for her special 3. That increases her tempo count to 150, so then you could go special 3, special 1, special 2, and really go wild. But for the most part, even in longer-ish form content, if you just go special 1, special 2, you're going to be able to knock out like 400 or 500,000 health in that single loop, and then you can just repeat that over and over and over again. So for Everest-style content, I think Dazzler would be fine. Definitely good for long-form content, but Everest content, you know, it remains to be seen. Maybe in the future she'll be really solid for like an Everest content Korg or a Tuma, you know, like a 2 or 3 million health champion like that reflects physical damage. I'm gonna see if I can get the kill here. Almost. So that was almost 450, basically 500,000 damage there. I could have been building up my tempo even further, but I decided to just go for it. And while it didn't kill him, it basically killed him. He's just a couple of combos away. One more special 2 with low tempo is absolutely going to send this guy to his grave. And let's just do that right now. And before the special 2 is even over, yeah, I didn't even need to do all the perfect taps. There goes Juggernaut. So with low tempo, you're still going to be dealing around 400, 450,000 damage. But ideally, you're throwing that special 2 at around 80 tempo. You have 80 tempo when you throw that special 2, you're golden. Also, to be crystal clear, the special 1 placing that energy vulnerability is increasing the damage pretty significantly. I believe the energy vulnerability also has some sort of tempo modification. I will check after this fight, but I believe it is increased based on tempo, the potency of it. So once you get that energy vulnerability on the opponent, you are just ready to go, building up to your special 2, building up as much tempo as you have. Like I said, at least 80 tempo is going to be good to take out most opponents in the health pools ranging from like 300 to 500,000, regardless of class advantage or not. So as long as you're throwing the special 2 above 80 while still maintaining that energy vulnerability, you're going to be absolutely fine. So we'll go to 90 here, and we'll start. And before you know it, Rhino is dead. There you go. The crit basically kills him, and then the additional burst damage takes him out, guaranteed. So, again, 550,000 health. Like, that's about the threshold limit of her Special 1, Special 2 loop. So she blows past, like, Battlegrounds health pools in that loop, no problem. But once the health pools creep a little higher, you still can do Special 1, Special 2. You just need to have more tempo before you do it. So before I check, or before I go into the next fight, I want to look at the Special 1 here. Okay, it does not gain any increased potency. That's very good to know. That is very, very good to know. Yeah, I'm just making sure here. Yeah, there is no potency increase for tempo for the energy vulnerability. So that's good to know. That actually makes her even better because you don't have to worry about your tempo when throwing your Special 1. You can just throw your Special 1 and then build right to that Special 2. So, I mentioned earlier, but I'll talk about it briefly here. Once you reach 10 tempo, you trigger a Dazzling Dash that turns off the opponent's Stand Your Ground mastery and inflicts them with a Falter passive. And if you throw a heavy attack, you build additional tempo. So you're building tempo every time you land a hit against the opponent. But if you land a heavy attack against a non-stunned opponent, you build like 5 additional tempo. So it's really nice to just go for a Dazzling Dash, heavy attack, and then if you're dexing a special, you can go dash in, dash back, heavy attack, more tempo, and then by the time you get up to your 80, like I said, the opponent is basically a goner. Guaranteed crit, and then she has 10% health left out of, 550,000, so that's basically, what, 450,000 health that I just took off there? Pretty legit. Going for one more Special 2. I also got fairly unlucky with the crits during the Special 2. If you get luckier with the crits, then obviously you're going to take out that health pool in a single Special 2. But I missed like 3 crits during the Special 2, so it definitely cost me a little bit. But even missing the crits, it doesn't really matter. Now, class disadvantage. Let's see how she fares against class disadvantage going against this Vision here. Doesn't seem like it's a huge deal to fight class disadvantage with Dazzler because her damage is not based on like class relationship stuff. It's just based on your ability to play her kit well, So go for a Dazzling Dash here, throw a heavy attack. One thing I will absolutely mention is I love her sound effects. It's so fun to just hear like all the beats and the booms and the bams. I just love it. It's so much fun. Additionally, just like adding on top of the amazing kit that she has a dodge mechanic. So she doesn't gain the dexterity mastery. She does not benefit from the dexterity mastery. Instead, she dodges attacks like Spider-Man 2099, like Nightcrawler. She just dodges. So there's no dexterity buff that she gains. I would love Vision if... Okay, he's not going to throw it, so I'll just go for the Special 2 here. But... Bam. Yeah. She does not gain the dexterity mastery, she just dodges, so that's super useful for a lot of content, specifically like things like Serpent or Photon turning off dexterity. She works very well in those matchups. I can't seem to get a Special 1 out of Vision for the life of me, so I'm just going to go for the Special 2 here, and we're going to finish hopefully with a nice guaranteed crit. Okay, with low tempo and no energy vulnerability, you're definitely not going to see as big of numbers as you would see in other matchups. But even with class disadvantage, that wasn't too bad. Obviously, you don't want to be using her in class disadvantage where you can help it, but she still will work absolutely fine. We'll do a couple more fights here. This is just, like I said, a super simple Realm of Legends showcase, because this is about the threshold of health that she can take out in a single rotation, give or take a couple of combos in the positive or negative direction. So, building up to like 1.9, 1.8 bars of power, throwing the Special 1, building that additional tempo from landing the perfect beats during the Special 1. That Falter is super nice for helping either bait specials, dodging through special attacks, landing your heavy to get your additional momentum, or to get your additional tempo. And I'll do a little heavy counter here. There's the dodge that I was trying to get trigger earlier. And go for the Special 2 here. And there goes Black Panther. Another thing that you may have noticed there is when I landed that stand-up intercept, I actually gained tempo as well. So not only is she gaining additional tempo from heavy attacking a non-stunned opponent, but she also gains 5 if the attack strikes the opponent while they are standing up. So doing a stand-up intercept intentionally will build up your tempo meter even further. Wild stuff, wild stuff. Now, I do want to show off a couple more pieces of utility that Dazzler has. So another piece of utility that I want to show off with Dazzler even further is the Awakened Abilities Pursuit. If you trigger a Dazzling Dash and then you dash at the opponent, obviously that's a Dazzling Dash, you're going to trigger a Pursuit passive. So right there, I've got the Pursuit passive, and Bullseye, he can't evade. Also, dodging back during specials, boom, no bleed, and I also dodged the hits, so there's no dexterity, and yeah, Bullseye, he can't do anything. I got clipped there, doesn't matter. We're going to go for another Dazzling Dash, and just throw the special 2 into his block, no problem. So, as you can see, dodging that special 1, I took no bleeds. There were no instant bleeds from dodging, because it's not dexing, it's dodging. It's 2 different things. So, yeah, Dazzler is just wild. She truly is just an insane champ. One last thing I'll show off is the interaction with physical thorns-based effects. So, from the Awakened ability, she takes no damage from physical thorns and reflects the damage back to the opponent as a burst of damage. So, as you can see, I'm reflecting all of that damage back to Attuma, just hitting his block here, and there's absolutely nothing he can do about it. There is no way for him to trigger the damage on me. I am always going to be reflecting it, and there is absolutely nothing he can do about it. So, overall, man, Dazzler is an incredible character. If you have a Dazzler, awakened or unawakened, you should rank her. If you have her unawakened, she's going to have insane damage and really, really fun special combos to do, and she'll be an incredibly useful attacker for basically any piece of content. If you have her awakened, she has all of that damage, all of that fun, but then she gets an additional layer of utility with the Pursuit passive from the Awakened ability during a Dazzling Dash, as well as the no physical damage and instant, and no physical thorns damage. She reflects all of that back to the opponent as a burst of energy damage. So, thank you all very much for watching this little showcase of my rank 3 Dazzler. If you liked the video, and I really hope that you did, please consider hitting like and also hitting that subscribe button. Both of those things are incredibly helpful for the channel, and it pushes the word out there to the YouTube algorithm that I am doing something people are enjoying. Also, if you could do me a favor, let me know if the quality of this video looks better in terms of the recorded gameplay. I'm trying out some new settings in OBS. I'm messing around with some stuff, trying to make the quality just a little better for recording and streaming, so please let me know if you noticed a difference. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.